University, and I'm coming to you from my office here in Joyner Library. What we're going to do today is go very quickly through a brief tutorial on how to access and use Joyner Library resources for Ictn 4040. So I'm going to switch to screen share and let you see my desktop, and we're going to go to the Joyner Library homepage, so you won't be seeing my face after this, but you will hear my voice. All right, let's go to the Joyner Library homepage. See if we can bring that up. There we go. Joyner Library homepage at www.ecu.edu/lib. The Joyner Library homepage should be your starting place for your research for this class, because it allows you to get to materials that are behind a subscription wall. So often when we begin our research, we all just start Googling, and it's a natural research step for us. No harm in starting there, but you can't end there, because it's not what you're seeing that's a problem, it's what you're not seeing. You won't have access to the full text of material to which Google does not have the rights. So Google has a wonderful search engine, and they own that, but they do not own the intellectual property, which might be an article or a book chapter or a newspaper. It feels like they do sometimes, because you click on something and it comes through full text, but what you're missing is a vast amount of material behind that subscription wall. So we want to use the Joyner Library homepage to get to that. In addition, many of you are not located in Greenville, and you cannot use the library physically. So in order to use our resources electronically, you will have to authenticate as an ECU student. And coming through the Joyner Library pages alerts our server that an ECU student is approaching. When you get to a resource, you will be asked for your pirate ID and password. Okay, let's get started. What's on this page that's of particular use to you? Before we even jump in, I want you to see a little link at the bottom called Ask a Librarian. Let's take a look at that for just a moment. What this is showing you is that you can get help at any time that the library is available with your assignment, with choosing a resource. Perhaps you have a problem in which you are looking for the full text of something and it isn't coming through. Whatever the issue is, do not hesitate to use the services on Ask a Librarian. You can chat with us live. You can phone us, including a toll-free number. You can send us a text. You can email. And when you contact us, it's always helpful to start with the fact that it's for Ictn 4040, to give someone a little context for what you're doing. And coming down just a little bit, scrolling down on this page, you'll see that we have a service called Book a Librarian. And what that allows you to do is to schedule some individual time with a reference staff member. See that? There you go. And this shows you the schedule. If it's green, it's available. So that if you're working and you've got a lot of obligations surrounding your schoolwork, you can set aside a 30-minute period, and one of us will meet with you to talk about the assignment or whatever problem you're having. So that's particularly good if it's a lengthier situation or you need a little more time to work with someone. Usually the shorter help is enough, but you be the judge of what you think you need, or chat with us and we can better direct you. So don't hesitate to use that Ask a Librarian link. It's very important and can make your life a lot easier. We're here to connect you with what you need, so take advantage of any part of that you think would be helpful. Alrighty, the next place we're going to go to is the One Search box, this little white box in the center. This can give you access to articles and books and government documents. And it is essentially like a Google search of subscription library materials. So we've tried to recreate the Google experience using library resources. Now we will find in just a moment that we need to get to more concise databases for a particular reason. But for now, let's begin with the One Search box, and let's make it give us access to some books. Let's use it for that purpose. I'm going to do a search for cloud security. In the One Search box on the Joyner Library homepage, click the Search button. And before I try to figure out what's going on here, there's a lot going on in this page, let's move over to the left-hand side under Content Type and limit our materials to book or ebook. That will reduce our retrieval to books or ebooks. Now you will see that our books can be both electronically available, that has a little yellow starburst, or only in print. Most materials are actually not duplicated in both formats, so you may need access to one or the other. If you need a printed book and you are not able to come to the Joyner Library itself, I'm going to show you in just a moment the service you can use to get printed materials sent to you to your home. Currently, there is no charge in either direction. So don't skip over something that you think you need just because you can't get into Joyner Library. If you are in the Greenville area and you would like to pick that book up yourself, you'll want to record this call number. It's like a street address for the book, just like you have a street address at your home. For those of you that wish to use the electronic versions of a book, click on the little ebook full text online link to take you through to the book. Most books will go through without any problems. Occasionally, someone else is using the book at that same moment, and perhaps there is a user limit. That's very rare. Occasionally, it happens. If it happens to you more than once and you think it's not a legitimate problem, don't hesitate to get in touch and let us check on that book for you. Okay, that's books. Let's go back to the Joyner Library homepage for just a moment. Now let's use the database list. The database list. Remembering that a database is a collection of similar items, of individual items, excuse me, with a shared characteristic. So a group of individual items with a shared characteristic. So in this case, they will be article databases, at least initially, that's what we're going to look at. The databases will be article databases. And the shared characteristic at this point is that they contain articles. But let's go forward and see whether they're all the same type of articles. Let's take a look. Database lists. There's a lot going on this page. Most of it you don't really need right at this point for this assignment. What you do need at this moment is to be able to locate a database by name. We are going to look at 3 databases today for our research. One is called Applied Science and Technology, located under the letter A. One is called IEEE Explore, located under I. And the last one returns to the letter A for the ACM Digital Library. Those are 3 databases that are helpful for the project you have for this class. Okay, and we'll review those carefully. The first database we're headed for is Applied Science and Technology. Let's look under A, scrolling down to the database called Applied Science and Technology, full text. Clicking on the name of the database takes you into that database environment. Okay, now we are searching within the Applied Science and Technology full text database. This is a database of more applied, more practical articles, both scholarly and non-scholarly. So not a lot of theory, but more practical materials. And we're going to try our cloud security topic. We have really only one topic at this point, one concept, cloud security. I can add a second term if I have a second concept. Perhaps I'm interested in cloud security as it relates to a hospital or healthcare environment, and I can add a second term to that. Let's use cloud security alone for the moment. Let's limit to full text. Clicking search. I retrieve 181 article sites. At this point, it's set upon relevance rather than date newest or date oldest, but you can change that if you need to. Okay, what are we seeing? We're seeing articles on our topic. If we are interested in this, we're seeing an article by Hisham Shahadeh in the International Journal of Open Problems in Computer Science and Mathematics for December 14, Volume 7, Issue 4, pages 5366. Now, the length of that article warns me that it's probably a scholarly journal, and in fact, it's labeled academic journal. These tend to have some length to them. That's one of the hallmarks of an academic or scholarly journal. Let's take a look at the full text of the article. A second hallmark of a scholarly, peer-reviewed, or research journal is that the credentials of the author can be determined. In other words, experts are writing for experts, and their credentials should be at some point reported. You'll see an abstract, a summary. You'll see the whole article before you. There'll be generally a methodology of some kind, some research done, some results reported. Often there will be charts and drawings if that's relevant to the article. And at the very end of it, you should find references just like you have to provide for your project. So there's some length to it. Articles will have the credentials of the authors revealed in some way, and then there will be references. Now, if I'm interested in this article, notice that I have on the right-hand side of my page some toolbars. If I'm using this article, I can then cite the article using the cite bar here. The little tool will give me the citation available to me in a variety of styles, and probably the APA style will be the most useful to you. So you can cut and paste that and put that into your own references. Okay, that's applied science and technology under the letter A in our database list. Returning to the Joyner Library homepage, the very beginning of our search, returning to the database list, this time to the letter I for IEEE Explore. IEEE Explore. IEEE Explore is the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, and combined with the IEEE, a British organization. So we need to see this for computer-related topics. Okay. Now, I've come through for the description of that. You don't have to read the description. You can go directly to IEEE Explore. All right, we're now in the Explore database. It's a very large database. You can expect to find a lot of retrieval in cloud security. Okay, here we are. I can limit this, if I wish to journals and magazines. I wouldn't do that initially. Look through a sampling of what you're seeing, because a lot of the material in that discipline travels through conference proceedings. So the conference proceedings can be very helpful. World Congress conference proceedings. Don't eliminate these arbitrarily, but if you're getting too much retrieval and you just need to knock this down a little bit, you can look for only journals and magazines. Let's refresh the results. Okay. Alrighty, and now we're seeing the journal Network and Service Management, Volume 11, Issue 1. And you should see the PDF of these articles as well. Now, this one does not offer the cite feature, but you do have the elements to cite it APA style. You have the name of the journal, you have the author, you have the title of the article, you have the pages, you have the date, the volume, and the issue number. Okay, again, back to the Joyner Library homepage, and this time to a database called ACM Digital Library. Under A, scrolling down to ACM Digital Library. This is the Association for Computing Machinery. And the digital library, like the IEEE, should be largely full text for you. Let's do our search. Cloud security. Again, you'll see a lot of proceedings and transactions because that's part of the way the information travels in this field. Okay. Now, when we did our search, when we put in our cloud security, here, searched it and got our retrieval, you should see the PDF of your article. See some author credentials, some references at the end. Okay. And that's the ACM Digital Library. Again, from the Joyner Library homepage to the database list, to A for Applied Science and Technology full text, and also for the ACM Digital Library, to I for IEEE Explore. Part of your project involves, if you wish, submitting your article for publication. And to think of an article, to think of a journal that might accept your article for publication, you have seen a number of journal articles published in journals, and you can use those journal names. Always go to the publisher's site for a particular journal so that you can see specific author guidelines. But we actually have a database under the letter C called CABELLS, C-A-B-E-L-L, CABELLS. And this is not an article database, but rather a directory of publishing opportunities. Again, Joyner Library homepage, database list to the letter C for CABELLS. Once in CABELLS, you'll see that there is a computer science component to this database. Okay. And we're going to look at the computer science component. We seem to not be going quite through here. Well, that's not very helpful. I'll take you back there for a moment. That's certainly not a very helpful this morning. Let's go ahead and search in all directories and see if we can get this to cough up something for us. That's a good way to do that, actually, rather than limiting to the section, which I'd rather see, but we're not seeing that this morning. So we're going to search in all of our directories. Let's just see. Let's see if we see, try one area. Recommend a journal for us. Okay.